Hello students, I hope you are doing well. So in today's session we'll be starting with the part 2 of chapter 2nd, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Okay, before starting the chapter, just let me give you a brief introduction to the chapter, what we are going to read in this lesson. So basically, just like the previous part 1, again this lesson is a life journey. It's a biography of Bismillah Khan, who rose to be the legendary Shehnai master, a very famous musician who even invented Shehnai that we usually see in the Indian weddings as well as in most of the temples also nowadays also. And by his dedication, due to his hard work, he was also conferred the highest national award of India, that is Bharat Ratna. All right, and many more achievements were also there that we will come across when we will go through the chapter. So let's begin with the first paragraph. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Okay, earlier Emperor Aurangzeb, he used to ask his servants to play pungi at his residence, but later on it got banned. Why? Because of its unpleasant sound. Alright. And pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. But still, after it got banned in the royal residence, still many of the people were thinking that one or the other day it it is going to be revived. It will soon be in the business again. A barber, a barber. I'll tell you where we will be using this term. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided the tonal to improve the tonal quality of pungi. Who is the barber that's been discussed over here? A barber that's been discussed over here is Bismillah Khan. By profession, earlier he was a barber. Alright, and after that pungi got banned at the royal residence of Aurangzeb, he decided to improve the quality of the tone of the pitch of that pungi that earlier used to be harsh one. Moving on, he chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem. Alright, underline this. Hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi, and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of the holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. Alright, and what he did to improve the tonal quality of that pungi, he chose a wooden hollow stem and made 7 holes onto them. And when he played onto it, closing and opening just like a flute, as we see, closing and opening some of the holes, soft and melodious sound was produced. Okay, so one thing, those who are having the books, they can mark up the lines and write the meanings that I am telling you to do. Those who are not having the books right now, those who have not purchased, they can just make out the notes. Later, they are going to help you a lot. Okay, moving on. He played the instrument. Okay, here is the picture of a pungi and the shehnai. Alright, you can see at the bottom, this is pungi and this is shehnai. He played the instrument before royalty. Who is the royalty being discussed over here? Aurangzeb before royalty, and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, now he improvised the version of pungi into Shehnai and played in front of the royalty. Alright, and the instrument was different from pungi, and that had to be given a new name, because as you we can also see in the picture also, that looks a bit different from the pungi, so it had to be given a new name. So there is a one story behind it, how this musical instrument shehnai got its name. All right, so that could be your question also. You can also have a question, 1 mark or 2 mark, how the musical instrument shehnai got its name. Okay, you can mark it also if you want to. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers, and was played by a Nai. Nai is a barber, one who cuts the hair. The instrument got its name as Shehnai. Alright, and that was then that musical instrument got its name Shehnai. Moving on, the sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. What is auspicious? Promising. On the right hand corner, you can see the word meanings also. Promising to bring good fortune. That is the reason in temples or on the uh, wedding days, Shehna is being played. So that is the story, that is the myth behind it. Alright. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of the Indian tradition. Alright. In the past, the Shehnai was part of a Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at the royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So, Bismillah Khan had a great role in who in bringing up this instrument Shehnai onto the classical stages. All right. Okay. Moving on. Third paragraph I am heading with. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilly. Now these are the childhood. In this paragraph, we are going to read about his childhood days. All right. How he got attracted towards this music thing. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing about 1.2 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaj. So let me just brief this thing. When Bismillah Khan was about 5 years of age, 5 years, so he used to go to nearby Bihariji temple to sing Bhojpuri Chaita. That might be we are considering over here a traditional song that's been sung in a temples. All right, and as a gift by the local Maharaja, he used to get a 1.2 kg of laddu. Laddu, you all understood, I suppose. Moving on, this happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in the India, the Bharat Ratna. Okay, underline this and mark up, because this line we are going to add somewhere in the achievements of Bismillah Khan. That could be in the long question also. All right. So earned, he was conferred the highest civilian award of India, that is the Bharat Ratna. Moving on to the fourth paragraph. Born in 21st Born on 21st March 1900. Underline this thing. If you are going to write a long question on Bismillah Khan, if you are having a long question, that might be of some use. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah Khan belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. Alright, that could be also added to the character sketch or some in the brief summary of the chapter. His grandfather Rasul Bux Khan. Who was Rasul Bux Khan? Grandfather of Bismillah Khan. Alright. Was the Shehnai Nevaz of Bhojpuri King's Court. Understood? So Bismillah Khan's grandfather was the Shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpuri King's Court. Okay. His father, Pagambar Bux, underline. Again, mark up. Pagambar Bux and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So basically, he was born and brought up in a musician family. Alright. Moving on. Fifth paragraph. The young boy took to music early in life. Just a second. The young boy took to music early in life at the age of 3. Underline. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, and nowadays it's called Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. So when at the age of about 3 years, when his mother took him to his maternal home, so young Bismillah Khan used to look at his uncles playing and practicing Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Bux, underline. Ali Bux, name of the uncle, maternal uncle Ali Bux, to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Bux was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Bux would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated. I have written the meaning on the right hand corner. Meaning of captivated, fascinated. And later on, whenever Ali Bux, his maternal uncle, would go to his workplace, he would took Bismillah along with him, and Bismillah would sit there captivated for hours and looking at his uncle playing Shehnai. Slowly, um, Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji, underline this thing, where he used to practice. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangalmaya and the banks of Gangas became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. And he got motivated, he got moved after staying with his uncle. His uncle acted as a mentor to him. So he also started playing, practicing Shehnai, and these three places, Balaji, Mangalmaya, and the banks of Gangas, became his favorite places. And solitude, I have written the meaning on the right hand corner. Solitude is state of being alone. He used to sit, he used to go to these places and practice Shehnai all alone. Moving on, the flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise is your improve, and invent rags that were earlier considered to be the beyond range of Shehnai. Understood? Rags, that is the musical term. Whenever a musician plays uh, any tune that is used to be in a particular rag. So that is a musical term, rag. Alright. Next is sixth paragraph. At the age of 14, okay, you might have noticed one after the other paragraph, age wise, his achievements, his development, his passion towards music has been discussed. So there could be a long question on the lifelong journey of Bismillah Khan. So stay content. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to Allahabad music conference. At the end of his recital, a solo performance is called as a recital. Ustad Fayaz Khan patted, what is patted? Peet Thaptapana, alright. Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." And at the age of 14 years, when he was at the age of 14 years, Bismillah Khan accompanied his uncle where? To Allahabad Music Conference. And after his performance was over, he got patted by Ustad. He got patted by Ustad Fayaz Khan. Alright. With the opening of All India Radio, with the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in the year 1938, there came Bismillah's biggest break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on the radio, and in the year 1938 there was an there was a big break for Bismillah Khan as he became a huge sensation onto the radio.